Also, the worst possible news you could think of just kind of came out, but it didn't quite come out yet, and that's stagflation. Stagflation is basically job growth remains stagnant or losing jobs. Unemployment isn't going up, but jobs are being lost. I just saw that Elon's actually laying off more people at XAI. Jobs reports are coming in pretty bad. We have higher inflation due to oil prices. Obviously, people are seeing their oil go up. Although it did trend down on the CPI report, natural gas was actually up substantial. And I think that was indicative of, we just had a really cold winter, especially here in the Northeast. And then we got hit with that massive storm. I told everyone on my Discord that they should be buying gas futures, because what happens is we lost power, especially here on Cape Cod, where I am. We lost a huge amount of power for like a week. Natural generators, right? So if you guys have Generac, you did really good. If you don't have Generac, you could buy it because the earnings are going to be substantial. Everyone's going out and buying generators right now. Generac and Kohler are going to be substantial for next quarters. Go out and look at it. Like most of where I lived, like the entire island on Cape Cod here, lost power. It was like 90% of power failure. Okay, those generators use a tremendous amount of natural gas in order to run. Natural gas spiked, right? So everyone on my Discord, I said, hey, buy natural gas futures. When the storm hits, it's going to be catastrophic. And it was. So that was great. But stagflation, so we have low GDP, like really, really low GDP, because it should have been negative, but because of CapEx on the AI spend, it was really high. Now that the market's pulled back, that GDP number is like demonstratively low. Okay, we have no jobs, and inflation is going up. That's stagflation. So just want to kind of give you guys an update on that. I think what's going to happen, I know what's going to happen. I'm usually right just early, okay? So basically all of these countries are like mass piling all of these oil reserves, right? Because they can't really move them. So there's just mass piled oil reserves. Once this thing reverses, it's going to, so oil's spiking, and think of it like a spring, like you're going to condense a spring. Once this thing reverses, the spring is going to take off, right? And oil is just going to come crashing down super hard. Now you got to remember, in order to drop interest rates, inflation was just simply too high. We're coming into what's called I don't know, the season where no one really uses electricity. Electricity is going to collapse. Oil's going to collapse. No one has their heating home. You know, the furnace isn't on and everything. It's getting warmer. We just had daylight savings time. So the shoulder season commodities kind of dip like this, like spring and the fall, they dip, which is great. So we're going to have a downward spiral once this thing ends. Okay. And then it's going to get gamma squeezed to the bottom. So if you are long futures contract, you're going to be completely wiped out, because this thing's going to condense, going to fall, and then we're also going to fall into shoulder season. It's going to continue to fall. And when it falls and all of the commodity prices are brought down, the Fed will be forced to lower the interest rates in a big way, because again, we have no jobs, commodities are going to tank. It's just a clear bet. So people right now, for their margin of safety, are actually moving back to the Mag 7. We're looking for good cash flow. You know, when things go haywire like this, we're looking for companies that have excess cash, right? Because there's a risk-free rate of return on cash. So that's where you're going to find it. That's why people are going back into the Mag 7, whereas the rest of the S&P, because of the credit default risk with this whole oil thing, continues to either go down or it's the lower caps. It's just kind of dragging on the S&P. Mags is up. Have a great Friday. We'll see you guys later.